speaking, we ask that you keep the chat to a minimum. Also, in terms of the rules, we do have some topics in this club that are not discussed without approval, I suppose. And those are politics, religion, and sex. So we ask that you avoid these topics unless you've spoken with someone from the club beforehand. And with that said, we're looking forward to a great meeting, and I hand you over to our esteemed president, Dina Abu-Saif.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I see we have a lot of new faces. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on board. Good evening, Cairo Toastmasters Club. So today, our theme of the day is Egyptian food. I think it should be very interesting because food is a huge deal in Egyptian culture. And I know that I was raised by a dad who basically just looked forward to waking up in the morning just so he could go ahead and eat. He loved to eat. And every time we traveled anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter how long the flight was, as soon as we land, the first thing that we have to do is visit the country's traditional cuisine. So we can sit down and talk to each other, surrounded by the traditional people of this particular cuisine, so we could experience their culture through their food. So food is a huge deal for my family. We do not live to eat, but we do not eat to live, we live to eat, if you will. So that's our motto. So I thought this was a very interesting theme because I am a firm believer of the fact that food truly brings people together. Now, when I was living in the United States, despite being around so many Egyptians who were very different, maybe ideologically, who had different perspectives on various social and political matters, I know that one thing that brought us together was our Egyptian food. We sat down, we overlooked all the differences that we experienced together on a daily basis, and we just kind of experienced a great sense of unity and oneness due to the fact that we were partaking in Egyptian food. So food is a huge deal. And I know that throughout the course of this meeting, when we kind of discuss food and its impact on life, we will find a lot of similarities, and we will find how food actually brings people together regardless of our cultural differences. So before I hand the mic over to our Toastmaster of the day, I would just like to conclude using this quote, which says, "Food can be a vehicle for social change. It brings people together in a way that very few other activities can or ever will." So keep that in mind when we discuss food during our table topic discussion. Again, welcome everybody on board. We look forward to a fruitful meeting ahead. And now I will go ahead and hand the mic over to Samek, our Toastmaster of the day. The mic is yours.
Welcome Toastmasters members and charming guests. Tonight, I'm very hungry because our theme about Egyptian food. Egyptian food characterized with its yummy taste, sabai taste, and various dishes and different flavors. Today, I'll show you some of the most popular Egyptian dishes. The first of all is koshari. Now let me share my picture to see you. Is my picture now, is my screen now shared to you?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, koshari, as you see in the picture, I adore koshari. Consists of macaroni and rice and lentils, tomato sauce, garlic and vinegar sauce, and the fried onions. Second one is tamia, or Someone may call it green burger. Consists of fava beans, parsley, and onions, and garlic, and eggs. It's one of the most popular Egyptian dish in the breakfast. Thirdly, mahshi, or stuffed grape leaves, or stuffed zucchini, maybe stuffed peppers, consists of rice, tomato, onions. This mixed together and rolled into the leaves. I think it's the most popular Egyptian food or dish in the dinner. The kofta consists of minced meat, onions, black peppers, and finally, hawashi consists of minced meat and peppers put in a bread dough and cooked together in the oven. Have you eaten Egyptian food before? If you haven't eaten Egyptian food before, you missed a lot. Now, we'll go to our agenda. Our agenda today will start with the prepared speeches, then the table topic section. First, in the prepared speeches, we have two speakers. Everyone will deliver a speech from 5 to 7 minutes, according to his pathway and his objective. Then we'll go to the table topic section, when everyone could participate in impromptu speech from 1 to 2 minutes. And this is the most, or the funniest part in our meeting. After that, the evaluation section, we have two evaluators. They will evaluate the two speakers in the prepared speech. We will evaluate them and give them the strengths and weaknesses and how to improve the next time. After that, we will take our reports from the grammarian and timer and accounter. Then we'll assign the winners, and then meeting will adjourn. Now, I'll introduce our role players today. We will introduce our grammarian today is Galal Zaki. Go to you, Galal.
Thank you, Simak. Looking forward to a great event. The word of the day, sapid, an adjective which means having a strong, pleasant taste. And we've seen some of the dishes we're talking about. And the example is the venison stew was sapid and satisfying. We can also use it in talking or writing to mean pleasant or interesting. During the meeting, I will count the number of times the word of the day is used correctly and by whom. I will note down any general grammatical language mistakes that can be improved or corrected. Towards the end of the meeting, I will submit my grammarian report, inform us about what I've noted down during the meeting, praise those who've used the word of the day correctly, praise any sentences or quotes which I find appealing in terms of structure and meaning. Thank you. Back to you, Simak.
Thank you, Galal. And I think it is a sapid introduction. We'll go to the role of timer. Wala Uthman will give us an introduction about her role today. Go to you, Wala.
Hello, everyone. Today I'll be your timer. I'll be timing the prepared speakers and the table topic speakers and also the evaluators. When you reach the minimum time required for you to speak, I'll raise a green card. When you reach like the middle of your required time or your allotted time, I'll bring out the yellow card, and then at the end, when the time is up, I'll bring out the red card, and I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap everything up. If you exceeded the 30 seconds, you'll not be eligible for voting. So the prepared speakers have from 5 to 7 minutes. Table topic speakers have from 1 to 2 minutes. With the prepared speakers, you'll see cards, but because we want to keep it professional. But with table topic speakers, you'll see Egyptian food with different colors, yellow, green, and red, because Egyptian food is definitely savory and sapid. Back to you, Simak.
Thank you, Wala. Now we'll listen to the R counter. Go to you, Amira.
Thank you, Simak. This is Alia. Amira won't be able to make it to today's meeting, so I will be your counter and general evaluator for tonight. Before moving on to what the counter is supposed to do, let me quickly recap on the word of the day, shared by our one and only Galal Zaki, Sapid. Allow me to share screen so we can see together visually what the word of the day is. Can anyone see this? Or can everyone see this?
Yeah.
All right, let's zoom in a little bit more. Here it is, already explained by our one and only Galal Zaki. Sapid, sapid, very cute word, meaning having a strong, pleasant taste of talk or writing, pleasant or interesting. For example, the venison stew was sapid and satisfying. All right. So sapid, what does it mean? Having a strong, pleasant taste. Our dear Galal Zaki will be watching you guys and tracking how many of you will be able to use the word of the day in tonight's meeting, whether it be in table topics or evaluation or public speaking. I mean, the prepared speeches segment, everything. His eyes will be with all of you. Now, moving on to the counter role. Basically, as counter, I will be taking note of filler words used by prepared speakers, table topic speakers, or evaluators. What are filler words? They're things like yani, or repetitive words like. Some people love to say the word like, or so. Or repetitive phrases like, you mean, you know what, the repetitive phrases we keep using in everyday language. I'll be watching you. And my role as general evaluator will also be to generally evaluate the meeting and introduce the evaluation reports as well as the GTA reports, including my own report. Back to you, our Toastmaster of the day, Simak.
Thank you, Alia. Now we'll go to our prepared speeches. Our first speaker is Rania Leila. She will deliver a speech, Keys to Success, and her evaluator today is Ghada Sharawi. Ghada will give us a brief about Rania objective and his speech. Go to you, Ghada.
Good evening, everybody. Keys of Success is the title of the speech of Rania today. She will deliver her speech as project number 2 at level 3. The objective of the speech is effective body language. The purpose of the speech is to deliver a speech with communication of international understanding. International and uninternational body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how to use nonverbal communication during delivering her speech. I do expect a subtle speech. Thank you. Back to you, Simak.
Thank you, Rada. Now we'll listen to our first speaker, Rania Leila. Good to you, Rania.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. There is no magic pattern for success. There is no any shortcut for success. Okay, can you hear me? Okay? Okay.
It's okay.
I'm going to do it again. There is no magic pattern for success. There is
Can
no
you speak up?
any shortcut for success. There is no real land that the genie will come out and ask you for your wishes. You need to work hard to gain what you want. Success is not a word. It's not just a word. It's a concept. It's a perspective holding many other meanings. It's a dream. It's a goal. It's accomplishment. Basically, all the people all around the world seeking and wish just only one thing: to be successful, no matter if they work for it or not. The most important thing is to gain or to be a success. But you know what? It's not about dreams. I'm lost in your contemplation, daydreaming about your success. Success is a big thing, big puzzle game. You need to work hard and work seriously in collecting each single piece to collect, to complete the whole pattern of success. It is this mystery house that you need to have multiple keys to open its doors and get in and reach your goal. And now, let's talk nitty gritty. Now, let me tell you some aspects or some keys, some master keys you will have to open the doors of your dreams or of your goals. Key number one is passion. I know it's weird, right? But passion is the first key, first essential key you need to have to open all the gates of your goals.
The mic?
Okay, I will try this. And
Okay,
I
talk.
will count. Just please, okay. Take care of your ears.
Go ahead.
Key number three is to think. Being thoughtful and insightful and be creative about your ideas is another essential key to reach your goal. It's very important to be creative. It's another fast tool to reach your goal. Key number four is to persist. Persistence and determination are essential tools, crucial, significant tools to work more and more on your goals and reach them. Because throughout your journey, you will have tons and tons of failures, and you need to consider them as lessons. You need to accept them as your life lessons and work on them and get some benefits to reach your destination. Key number five is focus. Focus on yourself. Focus on your talents and your skills, your habits. You need to be better than yesterday. You need to be the best version of yourself if you really want to go and grab what you want. After this, the key is to serve. Helping people is a virtue. You need to add some value to yourself, to all the people around you, and to your community too. Helping people is essential in your success story. Key number 7, work, 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 work. You need to make some effort. Make some great effort. It's not about just daydreaming about your story or your success or just visualize it in your daydream. You need to make great, tremendous numbers of failures and great number of efforts. Attempts. Work for your dreams to become true. The last key is to communicate. Success doesn't come to the people who are bad communicators. In this crazy world, in this hectic world, you need to be a good communicator. You need to fill in the gaps between the people. You need to connect the dots. You need to erase the barriers between the people. Making good, strong network and be good communicators will do the work for you. And to sum it up, success doesn't come to the lazy people. Success doesn't come to the people that spend their time working and searching for some shortcuts for success. There is nothing worthy comes easy to people. You need to make some effort. You need to be determined, persistent, patient, work hard. You need to help people around you. You need to be good communicator. If you really want to believe, find your path and work hard and go grab what you want. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Rania, for your interesting speech. I really get a very useful ideas from your speech. And I remember a quote. It is be the best version of yourself. You shouldn't be the best one in the world, but be the best version of yourself. Now we'll listen to our second speaker as Mustafa and his evaluator Amr Doh. Amr will introduce Mustafa and will introduce his speech. Go to you, Amr.
Okay. Is it Mustafa or Kareem though? It's Mustafa?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mustafa is supposed to deliver a well-organized, well-researched speech. This means he won't only use his personal experience to support his points, but he also needs to cite reliable sources. So preparation is a major component. So I wish you good luck, Mustafa. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Amr, and thank you very much, Mr. Zagloul. Is it okay if I share my screen, please?
Okay.
One second, please. I need to update my security preferences. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Yes? Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mustafa Gaber. As you all know, I'm Yasmin's brother, and we are both physicians. I'm currently doing my research period, which is a very nice coincidence to be giving you guys a presentation about one of my research projects. And another good coincidence is that it's about food, coinciding with the theme of today, which is Egyptian food. Unfortunately, some of us may be working out in the gymnasium, or playing sports like soccer, falling under and the small spacers compared to the small plates in the surgical procedure, which is called discectomy infusion. Anterior cervical discectomy infusion is a long term, which is basically that is used to help cervical discs in the behind the neck. It is the most common procedure that is used pain or herniated discs. The traditional procedure basically uses a large metal piece to help fix the herniated discs in the neck. And the newer one is a smaller metal piece that is basically inserted inside in between the vertebrae themselves. So I'll be basically comparing both procedures. Anchored spacer is another term for the small metal piece that I was talking about, which is more advanced and more recent. And basically, its advantage is that it doesn't protrude out with a large metal piece. So it is supposed to cause less dysphagia or less swallowing pain. And basically what I did is I compared all the recent studies in the literature to try and find out if this has less swallowing pain compared to the traditional method. So again, hypothesis or the aim of my study was to evaluate published literature to determine and see if all the trials that are out, and I have a master's degree in clinical trials, by the way, would affect swallowing difficulty metal pieces compared to the plate pieces with the plate for the Egyptians to enjoy sapid food like koshari and falafel. So basically, these are methods and results just you guys are legit, which is basically what everybody uses in research. So basically, I did a small study on the website PubMed and Central, and I used the keywords zero profile, which is another name also for the anchored spacer or the small metal piece. 0P, standalone, anchored spacer, anchored cage, anchored fusion. All of these are terms that are actually used for the fusion procedure that is used in the neck to help fix the herniated discs. So basically, I found my inclusion criteria in my research so that I can show you guys I'm legit. I looked only for clinical trials on patients. I searched only for anchored spacers or the traditional procedure, and I looked for any swallowing difficulties. I excluded all the papers that were not in English language, and basically I obtained 29 articles from the website Medline, 506 articles from Central, and 11 by hand search. And eventually, I was able to include 14 studies in my final analysis. So on the right, we can see the graphs. Lots of terms. Basically, the upper graph was looking on the y-axis. We can see the swallowing quality of life, which is basically when the patients start complaining about the procedure they just had to fix their herniated discs. Like Egyptians saying they can't eat koshari, they can't eat falafel, and they start complaining. So basically on the y-axis, these are the trials that we're looking at patients before the procedure, which is the pre-op on the x-axis, or before 3 months after the procedure, or after 3 months following the procedure. And as we can see, the white bars, those are the traditional method. And actually, I'm sorry. So actually the white bar, this is the new method, and the blue bar, this is the traditional method with a big plate. And basically, after 3 months, the patients were complaining much more using the traditional method. But the newer metal pieces, or the spacers, or the cage on this graph, it showed that they complained much less of swallowing difficulties. And those were my results. And so from my study, I concluded that I had sufficient evidence to show that there are newer metal plates that can be used. And these new metal pieces, sorry, can provide much more convenient method of fixing herniated discs in patients and make them more happy. Sapid Egyptian food. And I hope this makes everybody happy. Just look for the newer method. If God forbid you had a herniated disc, go for the newer method to be able to enjoy your Egyptian food. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, Mustafa, for your deep, detailed, scientific speech. Now we will go to the funniest part of our meeting. We'll go to the table topic section and go to Udina.
Okay, good evening again. This is hopefully going to be the most active segment of our meeting tonight. I kindly would like to ask everybody, of course, guests included, to go ahead and write your name in the chat box if you would like to participate. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a series of questions that are related to the theme of the day, food particularly. And then I would like to have people volunteer to participate in this discussion by improvising a 1 to 2 minute speech. So go ahead and write your name in the chat box right now, please, so I can start to pick my people, call out your names. If you do not volunteer, you will force me to randomly choose people. So let me see. First of all, yes, thank you so much for volunteering, Mr. Thomas. How are you doing today?
Doing fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being a volunteer.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
Okay, so my first question is, in Egypt, food is inextricable to social gatherings and festivities. It is one aspect of our culture that never fails to bring people together. Same about your culture? And if so, please explain. The mic is yours.
Thank you. Yes, food, I think, is something very important in all cultures, and it is too in Switzerland. We have the fortunate situation that we are geographically located between Italy, France, and Germany, as well as Austria. And we have the influence from all those food cultures here in Switzerland. So we can eat cheese fondue, we can eat some beautiful French Chateaubriand, a nice piece of meat cooked in the oven. And we also enjoy Spätzle, something I should say maybe similar to, it's made from dough, but it looks kind of like a French fry. Anyway, so yes, we get together, we invite friends, and sometimes we have a big buffet. The big pleasure I had in the past was I visited Egypt and I was allowed to eat some of your great Egyptian food. I very much enjoyed it. I particularly enjoy the big buffet where I can choose from different things like hummus and unfortunately I forget many of the names, but oh, it was really delicious. And one of the things I really enjoy tonight is therefore being here with the Cairo Club and being allowed to talk about this SAPIT topic. All over the world, I think it's true that food brings people together. It's a great time to enjoy something mutually and then also talk and get to know each other better. I hope we all did this more often. And I'm looking forward to maybe do this in person anytime soon now.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for your incredibly tempting speech. Yes, we would love to have you over in person and partake in our yummy, delicious, flavorful Egyptian cuisine, and also hopefully also pay you a visit and try out all the awesome things that you just mentioned that I honestly don't even know half of, but they sound really good. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. All right, so now we're gonna move on to our next question. I believe Alia was my next volunteer. So please be ready for my question. Yes, hi Alia, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great, thank you for volunteering.
Sure.
Okay, so my other question to you is, in Egypt, are you from Egypt?
Yes, I'm Egyptian.
Okay, great. So you know that, but let me ask you anyway.
Okay.
In Egypt, food is equated to being a generous host. Do you agree or disagree?
I think I would definitely agree. I would agree, like that I would say it's not just an Egyptian gesture to be hospitable in food, but I think it's also just a sign that you are welcoming, you want to engage with others, you want them to come in your home, and of course have a taste of all the delicious traditional sapid food. So yeah, I definitely believe that generosity and food and being hospitable and feeding everybody is an very Egyptian thing, especially with Egyptian moms. You can never be overfed, so your plate must always be refilled until you leave. Yeah, it's nice to treat in our culture, and I wouldn't overfeed anybody personally, but I guess it's just a beautiful thing to have, and a beautiful feature in our Egyptian way of life and way of dealing with people and way of inviting people over and showing our hospitality.
Thank you so much, Alia. I love how you made a connection between food and personal characteristics. That yes, you're absolutely right. When you're very generous with your invites and your gathering, especially when it comes to food, because it is a very big deal here in Egypt, it automatically reflects on your generosity, your hospitality, and some of the most major aspects of your characteristics as a social individual. So that was a really good connection. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you reject food, that's an offense. So
that's
don't
exactly
reject
right.
food.
That's a very good point. Yes, take note of that, guests.
Don't reject food, I guess.
Everybody's invite.
Yes.
All right, Alia, thank you so very much. Okay, moving on to my third volunteer, Ram. Can I see you, please? You, sir.
Doing good, thank you.
Okay, so you're from the UK. My third question to you is, food is a global language that connects us regardless of our cultural differences. Do you agree or disagree? Please elaborate.
That's a very good question. So I agree with that statement. So whilst we have, as you said earlier, we have political differences and religious differences, but one thing that we do to one side and we sit down, hopefully have a quiet meal together, sometimes energetic, sometimes we'll have a debate, but actually most of the time it's a friendly thing that we do with, certainly with family. So in the UK, I mean, it's not something I personally celebrate, but the locals celebrate Christmas. where they have the entire family that comes around and they have a turkey. I'm a vegetarian, so it doesn't appeal to me, but they have a turkey that they share together. Yeah, and it's a family gathering that everybody looks forward to at least once a year. Now, we try to adopt something similar. So I'm from an Indian background, so we celebrate Diwali, which is the new year. A similar sort of concept around the world where people throughout the year celebrate the key events where everybody comes together. And they look forward to sharing things that have happened throughout the year. And yeah, it's a way of keeping in touch with people as well. So the answer to your question is I definitely agree with that statement. And I also look forward to that particular event each year. Back to you, Table Topics, Mars.
Thank you so much, Ram. And I love how we're all very attentive to what other people are saying. As soon as we start talking about food, everybody's very focused. And you can never lose interest in actually talking about food, regardless of where you're from and what dish you're discussing. So yes, you're absolutely right. I too think that food is a global language, and that regardless of any differences or discrepancies, whether they're ideological, social, cultural, religious, you name it, definitely food has the power to bring people together in the best of ways. So yes, thank you so very much for your improvised speech. Very, very informative. I will now move on to my next volunteer. Ola, where are you?
Here I am.
Hi, Ola,
Dina.
how are you?
Hi, Dina. Sorry, I can't turn on the camera, but I'd like to participate with you.
Great. Thank you so much for volunteering. Okay, so here it is. This is a statement, so listen up. It says, I cannot stand people who do not take food seriously. Can you relate?
Yes, this is totally me. Well, I'm one of the people who like to learn how to make food and to make like a big dinner for friends and even for my students. I'm a teacher, by the way. I prepare food for them, and I introduce the culture of the language I'm teaching. I'm a Japanese teacher, so I make them Japanese food, and I introduce the Japanese cultures through that Japanese food itself. So yeah, food should be taken seriously. Too many elements can be introduced through food, like the culture of a place, the way they accept the taste. Like I was talking about Japan. Now Japanese, they can never accept that fake taste, like the too much salt we add in our food, for example, or the spices and stuff like that. So yeah, food should be taken seriously because it is so related to the culture. So I agree. That's it.
Thank you so much, Ola. Actually, your answer is a beautiful segue or transition. I was about to highlight the importance of food and its relationship to culture. So I will go ahead and ask my next volunteer this question. Mustafa, where are you?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Mustafa, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, so your question is pertinent to Ola's answer, but I'd like to hear your take on it. It says that you have to taste food of a certain culture in order to understand it. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I already did it when I visited Amman. Yeah, when my Palestinian friends asked me, they offered me to visit some places. I said to them, no, I need to know what is the famous food of Jordan or Palestine. So, so when so they offered me to try mansaf and maqluba. For me, when we start to have this kind of food, we start to share our culture and to share our differences between Egypt food and Palestine and etc. So I totally agree.
Okay, thank you, Mustafa. So yes, Mustafa agrees that in order to better understand a culture, you have to familiarize yourself with its food. And I love how you said that it's not just about eating their food, but also it helps us kind of open up conversations about similarities and differences when it comes to our foods and accordingly our respective cultures. Thank you so very much, Mustafa, for your contribution. Moving on to my next volunteer, Bassem, where are you?
I'm here. Hi,
Hey, Bassem, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Okay, so tell me, Bassem, has food played a positive or a negative role in your life? Explain.
Well, food is always positive for me. Uh, I believe, and for all of Egyptians, I don't know, most of the nations that Egyptians, Italians, and Mexicans, some nations already have meat. They love food, and of course, me as an Egyptian, I'm really in love of food. And actually, if I'm talking about the outings now, what I'm doing, I'm just go out with my friends to for a dinner, for food, and even if I would say that if I'm if I'm in my own country or if I'm traveling, things are getting gone. So that's what we are doing first. Uh, so it's very something positive to eat Sabit food and to check new places to eat and to meet with friends for to have a party or a dinner party or dish party or something like that. So yes, food is playing very positive role in my life and all lives, I believe.
Thank you so much, Bassem. Yes, you're absolutely right. Food, if consumed moderately, and definitely, yes, it gives us an opportunity to see new places and visit with people, and definitely life in every way, shape, and form. So yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Mayad, where are you?
Hello.
Hello, Mayad. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm sorry I can't put the camera on because I have guests at home. So it's
well,
a
thanks
little
for
bit.
joining us despite having guests in your home. That's very nice of you.
Can't resist it.
Thank you.
Can't resist it. Can't resist it. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mayar, tell me, since you're Egyptian, what is one Egyptian dish that you cannot live without?
Oh, the mumbar was just as savage as it smelled when fried. I just can't resist it, especially when it's fresh. I love it.
Can you tell us
Although
what
I'm
it
not
is
a
for
food
people who
person.
don't know what it is?
Mumbar, if I told them what it is, they will never like it. It's, you know, the intestine of the cattle, but it's juicy when it's fried. Okay, but it's nice, guys. Don't even not you know, a food person at all. I'm not that kind of a person who likes food. Special things about food that I like to eat different kind of food, not because of the food itself, but the story behind the food. You know, I like to taste the food to know the story behind it, whether it's in our culture or it's in other cultures. I'm fond of cultures, and wow, this is Molokhia, wow. And I love the idea of knowing people through stories. And one of the great stories that you can know is through food. So that's why, yeah, I like food from this only perspective. But the only thing that I love most is bumbar. I love it. I cannot resist. It's Sabbath. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayar. Yeah, that is one thing I personally, as an Egyptian, would never eat. But thank you so much. You know, we have a lot of dishes. And like I said, even if we disagree on certain dishes, we still have a lot of things that can actually unite us. But this is one thing I would never eat as an Egyptian. But like Mayab said, it is very popular in Egypt and a lot of people love it. So if you're the adventurous type, please give it a shot. They say it's flavorful. So take her word for it, okay?
It is, and I have to treat you one.
That would be great. Maybe you'll change my mind.
I will. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Mayad. Next, I will go ahead and start randomly calling on some people because I have not had more people volunteer. Nader, where are you? Nader, are you there?
I have an issue with my microphone, so I'm putting it on mute.
I'm sorry, can anybody hear him? Nader, can you start talking? Hi, Nader.
Hi, I think I have a bad connection.
Okay, would you like to participate?
No, I'm just listening to you guys talking about food. It's very interesting for me because...
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just ask you a question since I can hear you, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, so tell me, Nader, what is one carbohydrate that you have to have as a side dish with your main course 90% of the time?
I don't remember. Like, I'm military right now, so it's been a long time since I've eaten anything. Carbohydrates? No, I don't remember.
Do you like rice? Do you like pasta? Do you like bread? As Egyptians, for example, we love bread and rice, right? So what is one carbohydrate dish you have, you know, with your main course? Would you rather have bread or rice with your Egyptian dish?
I used to love both, mostly rice, but right now, like in military, I'm eating bread and rice every day 3 times, so I'm sick of them. Like, I used to love them, but not anymore. So for now, I don't like any carbohydrate food.
Okay, thank you,
Or
Nader.
snack.
He doesn't like any carbohydrates. Wow. I wish I was like him because, you know, that would really help with our diet. So thank you so much, Nader.
Exactly.
He does not like carbohydrates. All right, thank you.
Right.
I will now move on to my next randomly selected volunteer, not volunteer, but person. Sara, where are you?
Hello.
There?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How about you?
I'm great. So Sara, your question is, food is happiness. With that said, what is your comfort food?
Comfort food? Maybe I think comfort food. I do remember. I think I adore ice cream. I think my favorite will be ice cream. I think when I eat it, I feel so comfortable and happy. What else? And the potato, and I think French fries also. I love it so much. I don't remember what else.
Okay, well, that's good enough. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, do we have time for 1 or 2 more questions? Okay, all right. Let me see, who else should I select? Let me see. Maybe I should select one of our own. One of our very own. Let me see. Amr. Hi, Amr.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so this is your question, and I think you're gonna like it because you are the philosophical type, okay?
Right.
You are what you eat. Do you agree or disagree?
I think this quote is understood at a superficial level by most people because they believe you are what you eat means that if you eat healthy, you'll be healthy, and if you eat unhealthy, you'll be unhealthy. And they evaluate the health aspect of the food based on the macronutrients. So how much protein, how much carbohydrate, how much fat, is it saturated, unsaturated? It's all too biological. But I think there's another dimension of food that goes unnoticed, which is the kind of energy you're giving to the food. So oftentimes we hear this expression, they cook the food with love. Now my mother, she's not a cook, she's not a chef, but my friends testify that my mother is the best cook in the world. And I think it's simply because when she stands in the kitchen, she's cooking it with love and she's thinking about how this food will make all the people happy. And it's not just my mother. You got people going to temples in India and they eat the food in the temple and they don't add really any special ingredients. They eat what's sattvic food. So onion is not allowed. Garlic is not allowed. Salt is not allowed. They use the very basic ingredients, yet people say, wow, this food tastes better than we ever cooked at home. So how can they use such simple ingredients to make delicious food? And I think it's the aura of the place, the ethos of the place, because people are worshiping and chanting the name of God and they all feel this elation, this ecstasy, and they're all what they feel one with the universe. So when they cook this food, it's just magical and it's beyond the ingredients and beyond the macronutrients and what it's made of. And I think that's what we should start paying attention to. Not just what we eat, but how do we cook it? What kind of energy do we radiate to it? And who do we eat it with, the company? So stop eating food while watching Netflix and playing video games and watching people getting murdered and jealousy and all this negative stuff. Eat food in silence, contemplate the food, worship the food, because the food is one of the greatest blessings we have. Back to you.
Told you he was philosophical, was I right? Great answer, great answer. Thank you so much, Amr. Okay, Ahmed Al-Miligi. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am great. So this is your question. It's not a question, it's a statement. And then I want to see if you agree or disagree. It says, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper or a beggar, basically. Do you agree?
I think
Yes or
this
no,
statement.
and why?
Okay. I think this statement works for those who are looking for a healthy lifestyle more. But like the foods, the kind of foods available in Egypt for breakfast are not that many. So you cannot eat like a king in breakfast in Egypt, for example. But for me, I like to eat like a king in dinner or in dinner basically, yes, because I like to eat late at night and I like to eat like sabid, delicious food at night. So that's why I like to eat most of my very, very expensive good meals at night. So I kind of disagree with it, but I think it works better for those who are looking for a healthy lifestyle, because you wake up in the morning, so you eat a lot in the morning and you burn all of that during the night. You are tired, so you eat less as you go to sleep, so you do not store any fats or carbs as you go to sleep. So that's why it works for those who are maintaining a diet or looking for a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you. All right, do we have time for one more question? Okay, I will pick Shobha, are you there? Did I say it wrong, Galel? Did I say her name wrong?
No, it's all right, but she always declines, you know, I don't know if she's here.
Oh, you don't want to participate?
No, I would just listen now.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I'll pick somebody else. Let me see. One more person. How about Umayma, do you want to participate?
She's connecting to audio. I don't think
Yes.
she's available. She is now.
Okay, she's on mute. What about Burmawi? Do you want to participate?
Yeah, why not?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Yeah, you can ask.
Okay, so thank you so much for raising your hand. You're going to be our last volunteer of the segment. So this is my question to you. Food for the body is not enough. There must be food for the soul. Explain.
Yeah, as we Muslim, we pray, and this the pray is the eating for the soul, and we eat for the body. So yeah, I think yeah, this state is right. Yeah, if you don't make your spiritual pray or whatever you do to make your soul very good, yeah, I think we will go in bad mood. I think yeah, for me, yeah, when I didn't eat, I have headache, so I have to make a good breakfast as morning, so I can continue working. So at 3 a.m., 3 p.m., if I didn't have eat, I have headache, so I must eat, keep continue. Yeah, also this is work for a spiritual life. Yeah, I need to pray. So I didn't go to bed until I pray Isha. So yeah, I think yeah, this is in the same yeah, because human from flesh and spiritual soul from soul. Yeah, sorry for my English.
I'm here.
So okay, yeah, I'm finished.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, I agree with the statement too. I think food is not just meant to feed the body, but also very much the soul. And that's why there's a spiritual aspect to it. There's a social aspect to it. So I don't think it's just about basically stuffing our tummies, but there's so much more to that. And that's why food is so beautiful, and it's a common language because it brings people together in so many other ways besides just satisfying their hunger. So anybody, thank you so much everyone for participating. Your answers were great. I know that we learned so much about food beyond the conventional and traditional meaning of food. I did want to ask just a question about not so many because of guests. So I also wanted them to contribute to the discussion. So thanks a lot for being very informative and for contributing beautifully to our discussion tonight. All right, so now I will hand the mic over to our Toastmaster of the day. The mic is yours, Samik.
Thank you, Dina, for your honest section in our meeting. Really, I get very hungry because of a lot of foods mentioned in your section by your guests and by our guests. Now we will make a vote for the best one of the speakers and the prepared speakers, and then we will make a vote for the best table topic speaker. Just a minute and we will prepare the vote. Abdurrahman, are you ready? Yeah, now everyone should choose one of the speakers. Everyone has submitted the vote. Okay, let's go to the second vote for the best table topic speaker. the evaluator section will submit after they give us their evaluation. So now we'll make table topic vote, the best table topic speaker. So let's skip this evaluation, skip this vote, and make the vote for the table topic section. Okay, I think we need to have some time to give this vote. So yeah, it's ready now. You have to choose one of them.
May I say something, please? It's got add Silverman there, and people won't understand. There's add Silverman will not be understood. Did you hear me, guys? Add Silverman
Okay,
will not be understood.
Okay, I fixed it.
I just randomly shared the Sharbat picture because I love Sharbat.
Okay, I think choose two of, just everyone will choose one of the prepared of the table topic speakers.
We need to add Silverman doesn't exist. We need to put his name. Oh, okay, you changed your name. Okay, add. Okay, gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can we
Thank
vote?
you.
I didn't vote, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. I relaunched the whole voting from the beginning. So I'm sorry you are available to choose once again. There are 30 seconds left.
It doesn't allow us to submit.
You have to scroll down. Scroll down to the next page.
I did. It does, when I press submit, it doesn't go.
We have to choose two. We have to choose two.
Yeah, that happened to me too. I couldn't submit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, you have to choose two because it is only eligible 10 at one 10 at one table. 10 participants at one table. So if anyone else wants to vote, please send it me privately, as we are done with voting. You have more 5 minutes to send me privately. Thanks.
Have we finished?
Yes, we are
Actually, it
done.
does not allow us to choose two or one.
Please, if
You
you
have
could,
to choose from the first list and from the second list.
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Please, if you couldn't vote, please send me your messages privately.
Okay. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Now we'll go to the evaluation section. And that will be led with Alia. Good to you, Alia.
everyone. Good to see you all. It's been a while. So, leading the evaluation segment. First of all, I'd like to lead with the quote of, "Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try." Before I proceed, I want you all quickly with me to give a big round of applause to our Zoom master, Abdurrahman, to Kareem for stepping in last minute, to Mustafa Gabr for stepping in last minute, to myself for stepping in last minute, to Dina for starting the TT master for the first time, and to who else? Remind me. Samak for trying the Toastmaster of the day for his also very first time. Can you believe that they're all first timers? Big round of applause to them. Thank you. Oh my God, my clap was so loud, but it's much appreciated by all of you. So moving on now to the evaluation segment. Are we ready to hear evaluations of our prepared speakers? Thumbs up, party reaction, anything? Yeah, awesome. So our first evaluator for our first speaker is going to be Ghada El-Sharawi. Ghada El-Sharawi will be giving her evaluation report, evaluating Rania Leila's speech. So over to you, Ghada. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody again. The keys of success. The key number one, as per Rania, was passion. And from my point of view, I see Rania was very passionate about her message. And that made her so confident on the level of voice and body language and appear at ease in delivering her speech. The objective of the speech is effective body language, intentional and unintentional body language, and how to use nonverbal communication. Rania worked on that level from the beginning of the speech to use physical gesture very well. Most of her movement were through her hand, such as in the number of the keys, she used her fingers. Sometimes she used her hand to explain or express the meaning of the words. She used confident pose, that pose, between the points and while transferring from point to point. I felt that she had a little bit unintentional movement at the end of the speech, but I do believe that it wasn't distracting for the audience at all. The selection of the topic was very interesting to the most of the people, and that made them attracted to the topic and need to hear and to follow with her till the end of the speech. Her spoken language was very clear and easy to be understood. She used her vocal variety from volume, speech, and tone very well, but I think that Rania was in need to use a mic closer to her to make her voice more clear to the people. Actually, Rania today delivered a very organized speech with a great hook, organized body, and we sum up end. Thank you, Rania, for your speech. Good luck in your further speech. Thank you. Back to you, Alia.
Thank you, Ghada, for your sapid evaluation. I'm sure Mr. Giggle now has a big smile on his face now that I said sapid. Rarely anyone said sapid or used the word of the day throughout the meeting. Now, moving on to our second evaluator of our second speech. Mustafa Gabr, our second prepared speaker, and he is now going to be evaluated by Amr Al-Dor. The stage is yours now.
Thank you, Alia. Mustafa's focus was to deliver a well-researched and organized topic. And it's too researched, let's say, if that's even a thing. So I'm going to talk about what went well and what could improve. So what went well, it was well organized. You had a hypothesis, research method, results, discussion. So there's a narrative, and that's good. You had a specific hypothesis, so a specific problem with specific solutions. You also had inclusion criteria, which means you selected sources based on certain standards, not just any sources. And your closing was connected to our themes. You said we need to enjoy sapid Egyptian food, so we need to fix this issue. So that's really creative. Let's talk about what could improve. First of all, know your audience. So are they familiar with the vocabulary? Do they know what a herniated disc is? Do they know? What's the need? People are asking, what's in it for me? Why should I listen to you? So you need to answer these questions before you present the speech. Also, don't use the title of the original paper. It was Improved Swallowing Outcomes in Anchored Spacers versus Plate Screw Systems in Anterior Cervical Dissectomy and Fusion, a Systematic Review. I think this title is good for a scientific paper, but it's not good for a speaking context. So whenever you're speaking, you need to change the words, the conventions change. So we don't need this academic language here. So rephrase it into something simpler and more evocative. For example, the title could be, Can We Solve Neck Pain Once and For All? And that's a better title. Also for the hook, you said, I'm working on this paper, I finished this paper, and now we have a Toastmasters meeting. That's a nice coincidence. Now I can present the paper. I think you could use a better way to grab attention. So I suggest using shocking statistics, a joke, maybe imaginative questions. So you could ask in the beginning, how many people feel neck pain? Well, did you know that some people feel even more pain? They have misplaced discs. Well, I'm Dr. Mustafa, and I'm on a mission to solve this problem once and for all. So something like this to grab attention. Instead of presenting technical numbers and images, simplify it to the average person. So present the interpretation of the results, share stories. What motivated you to do this study? Have you had conversations with patients who use these procedures? How did they feel? So incorporate more elements that tug on people's heartstrings. So not just logic, but more pathos, more emotion, that kind of thing. So you could connect with people. And this wouldn't just help you with people in Toastmasters, people who are not familiar with the medical terms and such, but also with doctors, because you'll set yourself apart. Everyone is using this technical language and you come in there and you own the stage. Also, you said in the middle of the speech, I have a master's, by the way. So you don't say this in the middle of the speech. You establish credibility in the intro. So any credentials and anything to establish trust, you say that in the introduction, not in the middle. All in all, I think you did your research, but the point is, how could you convey the results to the audience? That's something that we could work on. So I hope you take this into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Amsh. And now moving on to the GTA team's reports. Mr. Giggle, are you okay? Is the word stop it okay?
Hi, is it my turn?
Yes, could you please give us your grammarian report?
Okay, I was drooling all over the place. The word sapid has been used 9 times, starting off with Ghada Sha'rawi, and there was Mustafa Gabr, and there was sapid by Thomas, and Alia deserves a gold award. She used it most of the time. She used it 3 times. Sapid twice by Mayar Mumbar. I must agree with you, Dina. It's going to be very difficult for me to try this Mumbar, but Mayar used it twice. And Amr at the final used it once. Amr at Silverman. Now, regarding language, Rania Leila, basically all the people all around the world. It's basically people all around the world, not all the people all around the world. Helping people is essential in your success story. to your success story. Need to be good communicator, need to be a good communicator. Okay, Mustafa, that were not in English language, in the English language. Okay, Thomas, I hope we all did this more of the time. I hope we all do this instead of did this. And I don't know if I heard or misheard this, the Germany and the Austria, it's Germany and Austria. Okay, Ola can't accept the too much salt, can't accept too much salt. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Amr, I love you are what you eat, the way you handled it. Cooked with the food, cook the food with love, that's your mom. They don't add really, they don't really add. They don't add really in India. They don't really add in India. The food is one of the greatest blessings that we have. Food, without the food, is one of the greatest. Finally, Barmawi, when I didn't eat, I have headache. When I don't eat, I have a headache. Thank you for this sapid session. Back to you.
Thank you, our awesome articulate grammarian, for an amazing report. Now moving on to our next role player, which is the one and only Wala Othman, to give her timing report. Her with a big round of applause.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. You all did amazing regarding the time allotted for each segment. Rania, you spoke for 6 minutes, 24 seconds. Mustafa, you spoke for 8 minutes, but if we deduct the 1 minute of like trying to share the screen, it's of pure speech, also good. Thomas spoke for 1 minute, 18 seconds. Alia, 1 minute, 17 seconds. Ram, 1 minute, 23 seconds. Aula, 1 minute, 16 seconds. Mustafa, 50 seconds. Basim, 1 minute, 24 seconds. Mayar, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Nadir, 50 seconds. Sarah, 24 seconds. Amr, 2 minutes exactly. Table, what? Ahmed al-Milifi, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Burmawi, 1 minute, 27 seconds. Ghada, in the evaluation segment, 1 minute, 34 seconds. Amr, 3 minutes, 25 seconds, again, within the time. Congratulations, everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you, Wala. And now moving on to our counter report, please help me welcome Ali Atayeh. Thank you very much. Now, are we ready to hear the filler words that we've all got trapped in? Because I heard quite a few, but I'm only going to mention the ones that were really noticeable, okay? So if you didn't hear your name, consider yourself to be in the safe side, pretty much. So starting off with, again, if they were not noticeable, or zero, I'm not gonna mention your name, just so you don't tell me afterwards, Ali, you didn't say my name. All right. So, great speech. To us, and you seem to love the words basically and actually. But great job overall. Moving on to the table topics. We had Alia. Don't take this sensitively, okay? We're all learning. We all do this every day in our everyday lives. I noticed 8 ums and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uhs and 1 and a combination. Ram, you had 1 long Ola, you had had one and one M and 4 so's and 5 M's and 1 eh. So musical, Ola. I love that. Then we have Mustafa, Anwar, 5 A's, 6 A's, and 1 eh eh. And then moving on to Bassem Hosam, 8 A's and 4 A's. And moving on to Sarah, 2 A's and 1 opera style. And then we have Birmawi, 1 3 A's and 4 A's. Oh, and you love the word so, yeah, Birmawi. You have like above 4 so's. So, yeah, so you love the word so. But overall, you all did a great job, everyone. So I praise you all for the efforts you have done. Now, before I proceed to my general report of the meeting, I would like to ask the Zoom master if he has prepared the polls to vote for the best evaluation. Yes or no? Maybe so. Thank
Yes,
you.
here we are.
Thank you very much.
Again, sorry, the name is not linked to the picture. The name again is not linked to the picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. Amr Do and Eddie Silverman.
Yes.
Apologize me, Amr.
It's okay. I changed my name again. It's fine. Like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Never mind.
Yeah. We got less than 10 seconds. Take your choices. Here we go. We are done. Thanks, and back to you, Alia.
Thank you, Abdurrahman. So, the general report of our meeting. Let's start off from the very, very beginning. Guests were welcomed. We heard from lovely faces and saw beautiful faces from all over the world. Our Dina and our team were all welcoming, I'm sure. Yes. We pretty much, on the whole, overall, enjoyed the meeting. Of course, there has to be a few hiccups in between. No one is perfect. We are all humans. We make mistakes. We're not robots. We're not made to be perfect. We started the meeting pretty much on time. It was around 7:15, 7:16 when we started, so that's a good job there. Our table topic master and the TMOD and the general evaluator make clear what their roles during the meeting were, so that's a good point here to take into consideration. However, there are a few suggestions, you know, to make the meeting a bit better than this. One could include entering the meeting with some music being played. We all love music, right? So why not, perhaps, since the theme of the day is related to food, perhaps we could have played some music that is popular in some restaurants around the world, especially Egyptian restaurants, you know, just to give the feel of, you know, people enter with some music and relaxation and stuff before we interact with the guests. That's one thing we can do. Another thing is to use actions more often. Like you have the heart, you have the laughing face, you have the party reaction. There are lots of reactions there, so I would have loved you guys to use those reactions more, especially when we're introducing the players or the speakers. Aw, you're remembering now to do the reactions. That's so cute. You got what I mean. Now, moving on to the some of the role players had a problem with the audio and the sound. and some were breaking up. I myself was breaking up. So it is always best to make sure that you arrive before the meeting time. Okay, so 7 o'clock or even before that, to test your audio and your video and everything to avoid those technical issues from happening as much as possible during our meeting. Now, it would have been recommended to display the agenda while, you know, saying the format of the meeting, just so it's more visual to us all at the same time. But I don't blame the Toastmaster of the day at all. He did a great job as a first timer to do this role, and thank you. One thing though that happened during the table topic segment was that he displayed, or he shared his screen with food images while the table topic speakers were speaking. So this might have distracted them while they were speaking. One random was talking about Mumbar, and then the Toastmaster of the day shared a picture of Mulukhia. So I was like, Mumbar and Mulukhia. So those sharing of images could have been distracting to the table topic speakers, but it was a good idea to remind us of the theme of the meeting. What else? What else? It was a good idea with the table topic master to, for example, introduce members first in case there were guests who don't know what table topics are about, and then moving on to guests. But Thomas is well acquainted with table topics and Toastmasters meetings, so it was a great thing to start off with also someone, a Toastmaster who knows about table topics and has an idea of how it is being run. One other suggestion is to have our names renamed. So for example, you have GE, Alia, speaker 2, Mustafa, great. So we know who's doing what. Each person doing a role during the meeting would preferably have, you know, his role written next to his or her name, so it is clearly identified to everyone. And if you were a guest, you can have guest dash your name. And if you were a Toastmaster from whatever country, you could have your country and then PM your name. We could have a variety and see who and what and what's going on and what's happening and so on. Regarding the polls, again, I cannot blame the Zoom master at all. It is the very first time to try this role, and if any of us were put in his place, I'm sure we would get like, but he was under control there. He managed to at least come up with a solution on the spot by everyone who wasn't able to vote, sending him names privately to take control of that. So that was a good solution to handle as well. I always have to look at the positive side of things as well as the negative. And one last point is for the role players, after giving the report, to hand it over to the general evaluator, because I thought they were flying in the end. Like, you know, the role players were done with the reports and then that's it. Back to GE, for example. But overall, it was a great meeting. I'm sure we'll have even more exciting ones in the future. I really look forward to having you all with us again and again in our future meetings, and all potential guests to be members perhaps in the future. That would be amazing to have you as part of our family. And now I shall hand it over back to the Toastmaster of the day. Simak, over to you.
Thank you, Alia, for your brief about our meeting. Now, talking about food is very interesting and Sabai. Now I become very hungry, so I'll go to prepare a dinner right now. So before I join the meeting, we'll go to the president, our president, Dina. Go to you, Dina. The mic is yours to adjourn.
Thank you so much, Samek. I believe it is time to announce the winners, correct? So everybody, drum rolls. Let's start. Drum roll, drum roll. Let's find out who the best speech was today. Who made the best speech today? The best speech award goes to, drum roll everybody. Rania Leila. Good job. A very job well done. And also Mustafa, we really enjoyed your speech as well. So thank you for both speeches and congratulations to you, Rania. Moving on to our next award. Drum roll, everybody. The next award is the Best Table Topic Award goes to, drum roll, everybody. Ahmed Bermawi, good job. And I believe Ahmed was actually a first-time guest tonight. So you did a great job participating in the topic discussion. You're confident and you obviously did a wonderful job. So good job on that award. Congratulations to you. Last but not least, our Best Evaluation Award goes to, drum roll, everybody. AD Silvermine, Amr Dou. Good job, Amr. He's Amr Dou now on the screen, by the way, so let's change it to Amr Dou. Good job, Amr. Congratulations. Your evaluation was very helpful, extremely thorough. I know we all learned from it. Also, Reda, you did a wonderful job evaluating Rania as well. So a job well done, both of you, and congratulations, Amr, for winning the Best Evaluation Awards. Okay, so before I conclude, I would just like to thank everybody who attended tonight. I would like to thank all our members for collaboratively working so hard on making this meeting a successful one. And like Alia said, I would like to thank all the first timers who took on roles and who did a brilliant job excelling at these roles. Also, special thanks to all our guests who showed up tonight for the very first time and were courageous enough to actually participate in the table topic discussion. We hope to see you guys again in the very near future. And like Alia said again, I hope some of you actually become members and join our family. It would be great to have you on board consistently. And if you want to be on the lookout for our future meetings, please follow our Facebook page, Cairo Toastmasters Club. This is where we post all the links pertaining to our upcoming meetings, whether they're joint or otherwise. So be on the lookout for that. Also, Rania Leila is our VP of membership. So if you're considering membership, please reach out to her. She's going to answer all your questions and hopefully bring your membership to fruition so you could join our family and be long-term members. Our guests from all over the world, thanks again for joining. Thank you for your contribution. I think the theme of the day really brought us together and really did prove that regardless. Abdurrahman, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, come back. Are we going to be having breakout rooms tonight?
Sure, we have it. How many participants do you want in within the room?
So we could just have like 4 breakout rooms and randomly divide people into different rooms. So basically for our new guests, breakout rooms basically is an opportunity for you guys to kind of socialize with people casually. And the Zoom master is going to randomly kind of mentalize every rooms so we can get to know each other a little better. So is anybody interested? We have some people who are.
Oh, I'm right here.